Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Umineko. Oh, I love this music track, it's really good. Anyway, we get back, I did scroll forward a few lines, let's see what we got. Yeah, and they've discovered, now I remember, they've discovered that George is missing after he went to go get coffee. Might have been alcohol, might have not actually been coffee in that cup, not sure. But he went missing, and the relatives are gone too, so we seem to be in a pretty bad state of affairs.
あれは何時くらいだったっけ？
確か4時か5時くらいだったかな。最低でも1時間以上は前だよ。
Yeah, that's a long time to get some coffee. Even if it is like, you know, really fancy coffee.
俺たち眠くなってその後は多分居眠りしてたし。でも多分ジェシカの言う通りだと思うぜ。1時間か2時間くらい前だった。
私もそのくらいの頃だと記憶しています。コーヒーのおかわりはいるかと聞かれましたからね。
Something hard to believe had happened. Apparently when Aunt Eva had left for a second to wash her hands, Cross Oji-san and Aunt Natsui had disappeared and totally didn't get blood everywhere or anything. There's no way they went hiding somewhere. Of course, the doors and the windows had all been rigorously checked, and all were locked from the inside. Not one of them was broken. Wait, so... That was my question. How did, I don't think I phrased it properly the last time I was editing the video, and I kind of realized maybe what I said didn't quite come across the way I meant it, but... When I was talking about how did they deal with the locked doors, I didn't mean, like, getting through the locks. I realized that, their magic arrow snake thing they keep referring to had crept in through the door lock. My question is, how did they pull them back out? Like, did they pull them back through the door lock somehow? Or did it open the door? That's what I'm curious about. Or was it just magic and you're supposed to accept it? I have a feeling the last one's closer to the truth. And that wasn't just the first floor, the second floor was the same. Again, all of the doors and windows possessed locks which had been designed so that they couldn't be set from the outside. In other words, there was no way that Cross Oji-san and Aunt Natsui had gone outside. And yet, they couldn't be found. Furthermore, they weren't the only ones who had disappeared. Even George Aniki had. So, I guess Beatrice must have set the lock again after they flew out. George Aniki had left saying that he was going to get more coffee and fix his text boxes, which are, interestingly enough, black and white right now, and had gone downstairs more than an hour earlier. We had been under the impression that he was having a conversation with Aunt Eva and the rest. But Aunt Eva, who had been in the lobby the whole time, said that no one had calmed down, since all of the doors and windows were locked from the inside. It was unthinkable that they had gone outside. However, 3 humans had evaporated from this barricaded guest house, which had become a perfect closed room. In a situation like this, we couldn't imagine that this was because they were playing hide-and-seek and trying to scare us with a prank. It was probably appropriate to think that they had been caught up in this crime. When Aunt Eva had learned that her only son was missing, she had gone half insane, running from room to room and yelling his name loudly. And Jessica had suddenly lost both of her parents and chased after her. Cries of "George, George," and "Mom, Dad" continued to echo through the guest house for some time. I think George said something about wanting to see Shannon's dead face. Uh-oh. It would be reasonable to imagine that he had snuck out of the guest house and gone to the mansion. However, I don't know about Cross Oji-san and Aunt Natsui. Did they notice that and go to the mansion to search for him? Without even telling Aunt Eva? I'm pretty sure they noticed almost nothing. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before we start talking about leaving the guest house to search for them. When that time comes, I'll agree. Since shutting yourselves up inside the guest house should have been safe, we should have been a big happy family of 12 people and stayed shut since this morning. And yet, Now there were only 4 people here. In other words, this means that being here is not safe. However, before that, there was something that we must not forget. That was the fact that all of the doors and windows were locked from the inside. This is a closed room. How had they hid themselves away from this place? What a question indeed. We searched around thoroughly. However, we couldn't find any traces of someone hiding. The 3 of them had almost certainly been taken outside the guest house.
どうやってでしょう。
I suppose it's part of the closed room that they're missing and yet the doors are locked. I guess that kind of makes sense with the logic of the rest of the closed rooms.
まさか隠し扉とかがあるとか。
隠し扉？
扉も窓も外から閉めることは構造上不可能です。釣り糸の類を使ってもこの構造では無理でしょうな。となれば扉や窓以外から出たと考えるのが妥当でしょう。
確かにそういう論法にもなるだろうよ。隠し扉が存在しないなんて断言は誰にもできない。しかしそういう発想に飛躍する前に俺はもっとと
申しますと
For some time, Battler had been opening windows, opening shutters, and checking outside. And repeating this for each window.
この窓は静かだな。なるほど。この窓は他と違って建物の構造上風が吹き込まないわけか。
そのようですな。こんなにも外は風雨なのに雨も風も入ってこないとは不思議な気持ちです。
Oh yeah, George mentioned something about that, didn't he?
南條先生、今窓を開けた時音を感じたかい？
いえ、気にはなりませんでしたが、よく油が効いていると思います。
つまり誰も見ていない廊下の窓からひょろっと抜け出すことは可能なわけだ。しかもこの窓なら風も吹き込まないから風圧でカーテンや扉が音を立てることもない。静かなもんさ。
Yeah, but the problem is the locking afterwards, right? Battler leaned forward and looked at the ground below. He was searching for some sign that George had jumped down. I see. Okay, that makes sense now. Somebody had mentioned that George had to have been flying. That makes sense now because it would have kind of ruined the closed room aspect if you did see... Well, it wouldn't have ruined it, but it would have made it a whole lot less likely if you saw some footprints down there. That makes sense. But at a glance, he didn't see any mark like that on the grass in the middle of the pouring rain.
こういう窓が1階にもあるのかもしれない。誰にも気づかれず表へ出ることは可能だぜ。
しかし扉はおろか、窓は全て施錠されて鎧戸まで閉まっていましたぞ。出ることは可能でも閉めることは不可能だ。
Not if somebody on the inside was helping them.
閉められるぜ。
Now that I think about that, yeah, because we obviously know there's people on the inside, and if somebody like, let's say, Eva, went and closed them from the inside after letting all 3 of them out, they could definitely have created this situation. Especially considering that the kids weren't with Eva. Eva was alone. In fact, Nanjo was alone as well, wasn't he? Either of them could have done it.
こうやってカチャンとな。
Battler closed the window and locked it as though this was perfectly obvious.
まさかバトラさんが。
最後に中の人間が鍵を閉めればこんな密室は朝飯前だ。
There you go. Use your brain, Battler. You're pretty smart there.
しかしそれでは。
Oh yes, I know what it means.
それでは。
Oh. Nanjo turned pale and shook his head several times. Because the thing that Battler had said had hit him as a fact that was frightening even to imagine.
俺の想像したトリックならな。しかしこんなトリックを使えば怪しまれる人物は極めて限定される。
He didn't want to say it in front of Nanjo, but after eliminating Jessica, who had been with him the whole time, only Nanjo and Eva could have done it.
私はそんなことをしませんぞ。
Sorry, Nanjo, you're it.
誓ってもいい。
となるとエヴァおばさんと南條先生のアリバイ合戦ってことになる。
And Aunt Eva is pretty crazy. I don't know if we can trust her.
俺たちは二人とも怪しんでそれぞれを別々に監禁すればいいだけの話。
And this is how everyone dies.
逆に言えばこのトリックはもっと生存者が多ければ有効かもしれないが、これだけ人数が減った状況下では大して有効ではないんだ。
You got anything to say, Nanjo? No, to the contrary, there would be a chance of having your own neck strangled. It should have been more expedient to make it look like the culprit was outside. And to intentionally leave a door unlocked or break a window.
もしこの失踪劇が今日の昼にでも起これば、俺は自信満々にこの説を発表しただろう。だがこの段階に至っては全然自信が持てないぜ。何なんだこいつは。一体何を意味してやがるんだこの密室はよ。
やはりその。
なんだい南條先生、思いつきでもいいから言ってくれよ。
Because Nanjo looked like he was trying to swallow his words. Even though it seemed that he had thought of something, I urged him on. After Dr. Nanjo refused several times, saying that it was just a foolish idea, he finally said it out loud.
イエソン、やはりこれは本当に魔女の仕業ではない。
Oh, indeed it may.
バカバカしい。
Bakabakashi.
魔女なんているわけがねえぜ。
魔女は私たちに訴えたいのです。人間にはできないことをやってのけるからこそ自分を魔女だと認めさせたいに違いないのです。私はこのゲストハウス全体の密室からの失踪はそういう魔女からのメッセージだと感じています。考えてはならないのです。意味なんてきっとないのです。私は恐ろしい。
It's okay, Nanjo, chill out. As Dr. Nanjo shook with fear, it looked like he was trying to erase the fearsome thoughts that he kept imagining one after the other. When we went down the stairs, Aunt Eva and Jessica were enraged, and were each persistent in their desire to leave this place in search for their respective families. You know, I just realized that actually. Because, see, I feel like if this had happened any other way, like, that if either Cross or Natsui were left alive, they would very persistently not want anyone to go out because it was dangerous. However, now that all the level-headed people are gone, I mean, I get that they're kind of annoying, but they are fairly level-headed as it goes. Now that all the level-headed adults are gone, it's just like, we gotta go, we gotta get out, we gotta get out! And they're all just going mad now. In fact, honestly, the first three adults that went out, they're fairly level-headed too, maybe even a little bit more, but also pretty brave. And they may have objected somewhat to going out as well at this point, but I'm pretty sure at this point, all four of the remaining survivors are okay with leaving. Maybe not Nanjo, I don't know about Nanjo. Nanjo's pretty reserved, but he'll also kind of just go along with other people. It was a desire that naturally hits those who can no longer see their family. Aunt Eva told Dr. Nanjo and me to stay here, but I shook my head and started walking.
もう引きこもりはたくさんだぜ。俺も外の空気を吸いたくなってきた。
ああ、行くならさっさと行こうぜ。もうこんなところに閉じこもってるのは真っ平さ。 早く父さんや母さんやジョージ兄さんを探しに行こう。
When they were never heard from again. The blood had all risen to Jessica's head. I hope it doesn't set off her asthma.
残りたい人は勝手に残ってればいいわ。とにかく私たちは表を探してくるわ。
南條先生がどうする？一人で留守番してるか？
いえ、私もご一緒させてください。
Interesting. That might actually be one of the best ideas they could have if the two of them are already dead set on leaving, rather than holding up alone in a guest house whose security was by no means guaranteed. It would be better to be in a danger zone as a group of 4 people. Aunt Eva was holding a gun. Moving separately from her was almost like asking to be made into the next victim. In this way, the 4 of us decided to leave the guest house. Just as planned. Even though it should have been safe to barricade ourselves here, we did that, and then lost 8 people. It was almost as though it was a holding room, so that the sacrifices could be killed one after another. That's a pretty good analogy. We removed the chain, unlocked the front door, and opened it. It was already pitch black. While there were some lights outside which dimly lit the pathway, they didn't have enough power to shine into the darkness that some suspicious person might be hiding in.
行くわよ。遅れても知らないんだからね。
I'm glad you think that way, Eva. Still holding her gun, Aunt Eva dashed out without an umbrella. Jessica followed after her. After looking at each other, Dr. Nanjo and I chased after them. What in the world is happening in this mansion, on this island? I've just been shut in the guest house with the rest of the cousins since yesterday, so I don't know anything about what's going on outside. Just what is happening that I don't know about outside this room in the mansion on this island? Everything is happening, everything is proceeding, and everything is ending without my knowing it. Somewhere in my heart, I have already begun to give up. Most likely, not one of us will see tomorrow morning. When the seagulls cry, nobody will be left alive. Oh, Battler, how right you are indeed. I wonder if they'll manage to actually get anywhere. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna get into the mansion. Or not. Apparently they're just chilling out by the gazebo. Jessica's woeful voice echoed throughout the rose garden. Perhaps it was the intuition of a person who lived on this island. After Jessica had looked in the rose garden where Aunt Rosa and Maria had fallen and seen nothing, she had gone to look in the arbor next. Normally, the arbor was probably a wonderful location to enjoy tea peacefully, while appreciating the roses on a good, sunny day. Unexpectedly, even Cross Oji-san and Aunt Natsui had their days where they relaxed and enjoyed their tea together there. Oh, good, and now they are relaxing in there, forever. In that arbor lay the corpses of Cross Oji-san and Aunt Natsui. At least they aren't drenched in the rain like Aunt Rosa and Maria had been. But there was no way I could say that out loud to Jessica at the moment.
どうなんだ、南條先生。
Are they dead?
考察ですが、ほらご覧なさい。首にくっきりと何か細いもので締めた跡が残っている。
だが、まさかこっちが主たる死因のわけはねえだろうよ。
Really? There lay 2 stake-like weapons decorated with an occult design, which had been found driven into Cross Oji-san's thigh area, in near Aunt Natsui's calf. When we had found these sticking out of my parents' forehead and chest, we decided to leave them for the police and to preserve the crime scene. But Jessica didn't care about such matters and had immediately pulled the stakes out of her parents' forsaken bodies.
これで頭、胸、腹、膝、 足の5つをえぐられた死体が出たわけね。
I'll let you continue that idea in a second. I wanted to, now that we've gotten a little bit farther past and seen what's actually happened, let's see what it says. His corpse was found in the arbor of the rose garden. It is assumed that the cause of death was by strangling a thin object. A stake-shaped weapon was found sticking out of his thigh. If only there wasn't that stupid epitaph, I wouldn't have needed a stake. What a pain. Is there a reason that their faces are gone? Like, did they literally... Here, hold on. Oh, do they always... Wait. How was Maria killed? By strangling with bare hands? Did that happen? I don't quite remember that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering why their faces are gone. Is that... Did they, like, get their heads chopped off by the strangling, or does that have anything to do with it? Like, Maria's that way too. Everyone that gets strangled, apparently, seems to have their faces missing. For some reason. Kinzo not included, because Kinzo's just covered in blood. Anyway, she was strangled and a calf-shaped weapon was in her calf. Why followed the epitaph in the first place? A game? Possibly.
第8の番まではこれで終わったわ。続くは第9の番なの。魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。上等だぜ。魔女が蘇るってことは犯人が堂々と姿を現してくれるってことなんだろう。何が誰も生き残れないだ。私が殺してやる。父さんと母さんを殺した犯人をこの手で絶対に殺してやる。
Jessica let her emotions flow out as she howled furiously. To avoid being crushed by her grief, she could do nothing but resist it with anger.
まだジョージが見つかってないわ。ジェシカちゃんたちはここにいたければいるといい。私は屋敷へ行くわ。
エヴァさん、バラバラに行動してはいけない。みんなで一緒に行動しなくては危険です。
兄さんたちはもうどうしようもないわ。でもジョージはまだどこかで生きているかもしれない。ここで時間を潰してる暇はないのよ。
As Aunt Eva screamed this, Jessica glared at her. Eva had no more time to bother about the dead. She was more concerned for the safety of her only son, who had yet to be seen.
ジェシカちゃんはここでお父さんとお母さんのそばにいるといい。私はちょっと屋敷に行ってくるわ。 バトラ君も南條先生もここにいてくれていい。
After arbitrarily saying this, Aunt Eva rushed out of the arbor. I called out to stop her, but there was no way she would listen. However, being alone in this situation meant nothing short of death. If we silently watched her leave, it would be the same as letting her die. Since Aunt Eva was unwilling to stop, we had no choice but to follow her. And, while it may be cruel to say so, Cross Oji-san and Aunt Natsui were already dead, so there was nothing more we could do for them. In the end, we had no choice but to console Jessica and head for the mansion together. Fortunately, Jessica stood up. Perhaps she had been able to break free from her grief. But what had surfaced in its place was another expression like a demon.
私がこの手でぶっ殺して必ず敵を取ってやる。行こうぜバトラー。犯人を見つけたら邪魔をするなよ。私が絶対に殺す。
俺も親父たちの仇があるんだ。悪いが早いもん勝ちだぜ。
はあ、そうだな。ぶっ殺してやろうぜ。
At my words, Jessica finally seemed to feel like we sympathized with her emotions. She still had that dark expression, but I felt that Jessica had regained some of her sanity. We took off, chasing after Aunt Eva. Through the rose garden, up the stone steps, running at full speed towards the mansion, whose large, intimidating shadow flashed in the lightning. With this, the murders of the epitaph have reached the 8th twilight. And then at the 9th twilight, the witch will revive. None shall be left alive. I will most likely lose my life, but at the very least I want to burn the truth into my eyes. That is the only thing motivating me to move at the moment. We were able to reunite with Aunt Eva, who was having trouble with the lock to the front door. It seemed that all the blood had risen to Aunt Eva's head. That was probably making her fingers clumsy. It seemed that she couldn't even handle the simple task of inserting the key into the lock. Then there was a faint sound. The sound of the door unlocking. Just as though it had waited for all of the survivors to unite before opening. It seemed to me as though the malicious mansion was trying to swallow all the remaining humans at once. Perhaps the stench that erupted outwards the instant the door opened couldn't be described as just a smell. It wasn't just the charred smell from Grandfather. I think it may also have contained the regrets of the servants and Dad's group. All of the dead. What did it mean as it floated out, overwhelming us? Was it the cry of the dead telling us not to enter? However, Aunt Eva didn't even flinch at something like that. And we who had to chase after her were forced to step into the mansion, even though we had received that message.
ジョージジョージ聞こえたら返事をしなさいジョージ
Aunt Eva shouted at the top of her lungs. Considering the situation, it's probably far too optimistic to imagine that he's alive. When we also started following Aunt Eva's example and called George's name in loud voices, Aunt Eva found something and stopped walking. She was standing in front of the door to the parlor.
これは南條先生ちょっと来てもらえるかしら
何事ですかな
I had heard about the eerie magic circles written on the doors, such as the one to the parlor from the adults. Eerie is the only word to describe that thing, which was scribbled with a deep red paint reminiscent of blood, so that it slowly dripped down. However, that had supposedly been there since this morning. Wondering why Aunt Eva, who had supposedly seen it already, would think it odd now Jessica and I stared at the door.
確かにこんな数字が書かれていた記憶はありません
ええなかったわ不気味な魔法文字みたいなのは書かれていたけど数字は書かれていなかった
From what the two of them said, only the magic circle had been there this morning. However, right now, there were 8 digits written in the upper part of the magic circle. Ooh, spooky numbers, spooky blood numbers. 07151129. I didn't know what it meant, but I didn't even want to imagine what someone had been thinking when they wrote it. It was drawn with the same paint as the magic circle, but it had clearly been written very recently. What could a string of numbers like that mean? Possibly a date, though that is a very far back date, so I doubt that much. I don't even know. The way it had dried and the condition of the color was completely different from the magic circle part.
どうせ魔法的な意味があるんだろうぜ深く考えたって意味なんかあるわけもないさ
Is it really? Jessica intentionally spat those words out in an attempt to wipe out how eerie it was.
魔法陣というものかもしれませ
Yes,
ん
of course, it's a square.
ある種の数字遊びに魔除けが宿るという考え方ですどの列を足しても同じ数字になるみたいなものを皆さんも見聞きしたことがおありでしょう
あれは 四角形の中に埋めた数字の話じゃなかった？これは横一列だもの。何の意味があるのかさっぱりだわ。多分ジェシカちゃんの言うのが正解よ。私たちが深く考えたところで。
That sounds like the America option. Kick down the door, don't worry about the numbers. Even though she said that, she probably suspected that it might actually mean something. Using an old receipt or something from inside her pocket, Aunt Eva definitely wrote that number down with a short ballpoint pen. Good idea. Without any kind of pattern, that 8-digit number would probably be a pretty difficult code to break.
これ日にちとかな。
That's what I thought.
日にち？何の話？
いや偶然だろうけど、俺の7月15日なんだ。0715が7月15日を示すのかなって思ったら、1129もほら11月29日って読んだらちょうど語呂がいいかなって思ってよ。
I didn't think about that. I thought 1129 was a year. That's interesting. Then that might actually mean something.
そして11月29日ってなんだよ。
I have no idea.
俺が知りてえぜ。まあたまたまの偶然だろう
I'm
けどな。
almost positive it isn't a coincidence anymore.
そう考えたらなんだか不気味になっちまったぜ。11月29日が誰かの誕生日だったりとかするのか？うちの家族は違うぜ。親父も桐江さんも縁者も違う。もちろん俺のお袋もだ。
心当たりがありませんな。金蔵さんの誕生日でも源氏さんの誕生日でもないはずだ。
うちの家族も違うわよ。ローザやマリアちゃんでもないわ。
うちの家族だって違うぜ。カノン君も違うし、シャノンも違う。私、使用人の人の誕生日にはちゃんとプレゼント渡してるからみんな知ってるけど、11月29日に誕生日の人間なんて知らないぜ。
Once we started imagining that the 8 digits, which we had thought were meaningless, were actually 2 dates written together, it really started to look that way. Maybe it's Beatrice's birthday. However, its true meaning may be something completely different, or there may be no meaning at all. Anyway, since we don't have any real clue, it's probably pointless to stand around here worrying about it. Even more important than that was the inside of the parlor. This morning, behind each of the doors, with a magic circle drawn on them, had been the body of a victim. And now that a number had been added to the door, had something new been added inside the parlor? When Aunt Eva tried to open it, she felt the resistance of the lock. She immediately took out a master key, putting it in the keyhole. So what's inside? As soon as she opened the door, Aunt Eva let out a high-pitched scream and ran inside. That alone was enough to tell us what had happened inside the room. Dr. Nanjo and I looked at each other, and I shook my head slightly as we entered the parlor.
George! George!
There's George! We found him! George Aniki had fallen alongside Shannon Chan's corpse. His chest was stained a bright red, and from his still opened eyes, I'd hate to say it to Aunt Eva, but I couldn't pick up any signs of life. And what's up with you, George? Gunner spear-shaped. In exchange for his soul, the witch gave 8 numbers. If you say it, a small golden land will be opened. Does that have to do with, with George getting, Shannon back for like a minute or something? After moving to take George's pulse, Dr. Nanjo shook his head, wordlessly reporting that George was dead. Brushing him aside, Aunt Eva once again crouched beside George Aniki. and started crying at the top of her lungs. With this, Aniki's death, one thing is certain. The murders hadn't ended at the 8th twilight. The epitaph was being carried out in its complete form, including the 9th twilight, and no one will be left alive. I was really starting to lose track of things. For some reason, Aunt Eva's half-insane cries actually made me cool down. Yeah, I think we'll stop it there. We might finish next time, I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And, it definitely seems like we're closing here. Almost about the end. See you guys next time. Bye!